Good morning, my dear student. Myself, Dr. Chitra. Today, I discuss diabetic retinopathy. Diabetic retinopathy, the healthy eye is just like this. But in case of the diabetic eye, the spots is the blood accumulation in the white spot seen in the vitreous humerus. Now, diabetic retinopathy. It is a disease of retina caused by microangiopathy due to long-term effect of diabetic leading to progressive damage of the retina and blindness. Most common cause of severe bilateral visual loss in working age group. Now, risk factor. Recommended eye examination schedule. Diabetic type is type 1, type 2. The recommended time of first examination is diabetic type 1, the 3 to 5 years after diagnosis. Recommended followed up the yearly. Diabetic 2 at time of diagnosis and yearly. Prior to pregnancy, type 1 or type 2. Prior to conception and early in the first trimester. Recommended follow-up is no retinopathy to mild, moderate NPDR. NPDR stands for non-proliferative diabetic retinopathy. Every 3 to 12 months, severe NPDR, or worse every 1 to 3 months. Second is poor glycemic control. The severity of hyperglycemia is the key alterable risk factor associated with the development of diabetic retinopathy. Tight blood sugar control, particularly when instituted early, can prevent or delay the development or progression of diabetic retinopathy. As per the Diabetes Control and Complication Trials, the intensive control reduced the risk of developing retinopathy by 76% and slowed progression of retinopathy by 54%. The UK prospective diabetic studies controlled similar result in diabetic mellitus type 2 patient is a 25% reduce in risk. However, the sudden improvement in control may be associated with progression of retinopathy in near term due to increase in serum IGF level. Type 1 diabetic patient appears to obtain greater benefit for good control than those with type 2. Raised HbA1c is associated with an increased risk of proliferative disease. This is because of increased oxygen binding capacity of HbA1c leading to hypoxia. Target HbA1c level is 6.5 to 7%. Next is pregnancy, sometimes associated with rapid progression of diabetic retinopathy. Key factors are greater pre-pregnancy severity of retinopathy, poor pre-pregnancy control of diabetes, control exerted too rapidly during the earlier stage of pregnancy, development of pre-eclampsia and fluid imbalance. Fourth is hypertension. According to appropriate blood pressure control in diabetes ABCD trials, target BP should be greater than 140/80. Tight control appears to be particularly beneficial in the type 2 diabetic with maculopathy. The Eurodiaba controlled trial of lisinopril in insulin dependent diabetic showed lowered rate of development of retinopathy in diabetic taking lisinopril for antihypertensive medication as compared to placebo. These are the allopathic way. Now, next is neuropathic. Neuropathic, if severe is associated with worsening of diabetic retinopathy. Conversely, treatment of renal disease, ACE inhibitors and angiotensin II receptor antagonists may be associated with improvement of retinopathy. Other risk factor is smoking. Male is more affected than female. Hyperlipidemia, cataract surgery, obesity, anemia leading to hypoxia, carotid artery occlusion disease, alcohol. High myopic choroidal degeneration and extensive old choroidoretinopathy protect against diabetic retinopathy. Believes to act in the same manner as pan-retinal photocoagulation by reducing the metabolic need of the retina. Pathophysiology. Diabetic retinopathy is a microangiopathy primarily affecting the pre-capillary arterioles, capillaries, venules, and post-capillary venules. The basic component of damage process are microvascular occlusion and microvascular leakage. This is the pathophysiology. Is the microvascular occlusion leads to the ischemia and infraction, and ischemia leads to the infraction and the increased VEGF. It stands for vascular endothelial growth factor. Then neovascularization, which leads to the neovascularization, new vessels are developed, and the fibrovascular band is from the fibrovascular band and the vitreous hemorrhages and the vascular glaucoma. Neovascular glaucoma leads to the increase the pressure on which develop the new vascularization, new vessels develop and leads to the pressure on the eye, which increase the intraocular pressure and cause the glaucoma. The fibrovascular band, it leads to the tractional retinal detachment. The microvascular leakage and the macrovascular occlusion. This is a leakage, and occlusion is, this is the form, the occlusion. We can see the occlusion, and this is the loss of free sites. Capillary changes, degeneration and loss of free sites, thickening of basement membrane, damage and proliferation of endothelial cells, hematological changes, deformation of RBCs and Dulexus formation, increased plasma viscosity, increased platelets, stickiness and aggregation. Now, stages of diabetic retinopathy. This is the stages. So, normal, mild, moderate, severe, proliferative. This circle shows the blood clots and hemorrhages due to the new vascularization of arteries. This is a vascularization. Now, symptoms. Diabetic retinopathy is asymptomatic in early stage of the disease. As per disease progression, symptoms may include blurred vision, floaters and flashed, fluctuating vision, distorted vision, dark area in the vision, poor night vision, impaired color vision, partially or total loss of vision. This is a normal vision and vision with diabetic retinopathy. This is a now diagnostic test. Fluorescence angiography identifies macular capillaries non-perfusion, identifies subtle area of NV causing recurrent vitreous hemorrhage. NV is the neurovessels. Color fundus photography for documentation purpose. Modified aerial classification use 7 standard photographic fields to detect neurovascularization. The right eye, the field 1 is the disc, field 2 is the macula, field 3 is the temporal or to macula, field 4 is the superior to temporal, field 5 is the inferior to temporal, field 6 is the superior nasal, field 7 is the inferior to nasal. These are the fields. Now, ultrasonography. When opaque media preclude retinal examination, useful in ruling out. Number 1 is the retinal detachment, traction threatening macular detachment, vitreous hemorrhage. Ocular coherent tomography, the macular edema. We can see this is a edema. It's a macular edema. Next is the color vision assessment. Acquired blood yellow defect. Acquired blue yellow defect. Now management part. Management is the treatment for diabetic retinopathy. Laser treatment to treat the growth of new blood vessels at the back of the eye, the retina, in cases of proliferative diabetic retinopathy, and to stabilize some cases of maculopathy. Eye injection to treat severe maculopathy that's threatening your threatening your sight. Eye surgery to remove blood to scar or scar tissue from the eye if laser treatment isn't possible because retinopathy is too advanced. Laser treatment. Laser treatment is used to treat new blood vessels at the back of the eyes in the advanced stage of diabetic retinopathy. This is done because the new blood vessels tends to be very weak and often cause bleeding into the eye. Treatment can help stabilize the changes in your eyes caused by your diabetic and stop your vision getting any worse, although it won't usually improve your sight. This is the normal eye and this is the diabetic retinopathy. This is a diabetic retinopathy. We can see the fundus. This is the fundus. Eye injection. In some cases of diabetic maculopathy, injections of a medicine called anti-VEGF may be given. VEGF is a vascular endothelial growth factor, may be given directly into your eye to prevent new blood vessels forming at the back of the eyes. The main medicine used are called ranibizumab and aflibercept. These can help stop the problem in your eyes getting worse and may also lead to an improvement in your vision. These are the medicines, these are the allopathic medicines. Now eye surgery. Surgery may be carried out to remove some of the vitreous humor from the eye. This is the transparent jelly-like substance that fills the space behind the lens of the eye. The operation, known as vitreoretinal surgery, may be needed if a large amount of blood has collected in your eye. There's extensive scar tissue that's like to cause or has already caused retinal detachment. Now, homeopathic management in the cases of diabetic retinopathy. The drugs are phosphorus. Cessation as if everything were covered with a mist, dust, or something pulled tightly over eye. Black point seems to float before the eyes. Patient seems better by shading eye with hands. Fatigue of eye, fatigue of eyes and head or even without much use of eyes. Letters appears red, diplopia, due to diversion of the visual axis. Thrombosis of retinal vessel and degenerative changes in retinal cell. Degenerative changes were soreness and covered line are seen in old people. Retinal troubles with lights and hallucination of vision. Osmum. Improving dim vision, the intraocular pressure is raised. The display of various changeable colors of an object when looked at from different angles like a rainbow. Intolerance to light. Physostigma. Diminished vision, blurring of vision or partially blindness. The pain in usually worse after using the eye. These are the homeopathic drugs which relate to the specific symptom of the eye. But we can also use homeopathic drugs just like a constitution remedies. We can treat diabetic retinopathy. The diabetic retinopathy, we can use medicines for the diabetic disease. These medicines are cesium and other related to the constitutional remedies. Now, thank you. Thank you for the listening. Diabetic retinopathy.